Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today we are talking about belittling, condescending types. These are the people who they have shown up and shown out at various family events. These are the people who you may live with, the people who you are married to, the types of folks who simply cannot keep their mouths shut when it comes to talking about other people in a mean way. These folks will cut you down. Sooner or later, if you stay in the company of these people long enough, they are going to have some words for you about the way you look, the way you walk, the way you talk. You see, these people are fun when they're talking about the other folks. Oh, look at the way she eats. Look at the way he dresses. They don't mind telling how they feel about the way people behave. They got their little names that they call these people. They are the types of folks that when you confront them about what they're saying, they're going to put you down. They're going to talk about how you got a lot of nerve coming over here talking to me about A, B, and C, and then they're going to bring up whatever you said, whatever you did, and they're going to put a spin on it and make it look like you had ill intentions when you said when you did. Oh, these individuals, how is it that they are invited to these family events? How is it that they are considered popular and fun and sweet and kind to some other folk? Because they know how to put on a good act. They know how to say they're sorry to certain individuals. They know how to buy friendship. They know how to keep some folks close to them who they really like, but they may secretly despise. But you have something that I want, says that one who cuts some people down. So they're very selective when it comes to who they're putting down, who they're talking negatively about, when they know that certain people hold the purse strings. Sometimes they're so frustrated with the people who are closest to them, and they know not to put those people down, so they'll take their battle out there in the street, so to speak. I'm going to talk about the neighbor. I'm going to talk about the people down the street. I'm going to talk about that one over there who I see across from me at the restaurant. I'm going to get a barrel of laughs from these family members and friends who I haven't seen in a long time by talking about the way this one and that one behaves. Oh, yeah. See, they win friends among those individuals who are similar to them. They like to cut people down, too. There's one thing when you cut someone down, and another thing when you are building someone up. There's a difference, if you will. The person who's cutting people down, he's mean-spirited, he's evil, he's dark, he's ugly about what he does and says. The person who's building people up, that individual is not going after people in a mean-spirited, negative, nasty sort of way. If anything, that individual wants to see people come up higher, wants to see people grow, wants to see people get the benefits, so to speak, of living the righteous, holy life. But sometimes we got individuals who, they mix up the two. They say, oh, well, you know, she said something negative about this one or that one. She's nothing but a you-know-what. And, well, he's not so bad. He is just saying those things because, well, he's just trying to get a laugh. No, 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 no. The enemy wants to twist up your mind. The enemy wants you to, once again, go down that path of telling lies, believing lies, his lies, more specifically. He doesn't want you to come up higher. No. The laughter, no, that's to put you down, to get you to a place where you're all prepped and ready for the abuse. Because you see, these people who put people down, they're usually abusive. These people who are out for the barrel of laughs, at the expense of talking about the way people act and look and dress and smell and all of that. These people, when you get around them long enough, and Lord knows I've been around some of these folks for many, many years. And then eventually God convicted me and told me to stop dealing with these people and stop listening to them and stop defending yourself, because eventually you do that too. Because I told you, they're going to come your way sooner or later with their put downs. And then you're going to defend yourself. And then the next thing you know, you might be real harsh and real cold and real ugly. And they thought that they had a lot of meanness and nasty to them. But they brought out the worst in you. And then they say, oh, you don't have to act that way. And, you know, why you got to take it so seriously? I mean, no, I'm going after the jugular, you see. And so you don't want to keep being mixed up in that sort of thing. So you learn how to distance yourself, cut people off, cut them away. I don't care that they gave you this, that, and the other. I don't care if they've been in your life for 20, 30, 40 plus years. These are people who the Lord speaks to you about and tells you, you got to stop. Because sooner or later, what do we end up doing? We end up acting just like them. And we're after the barrel of laughs. So we're putting folks down and we're saying all sorts of crazy things. Like I said, there's a difference between those individuals who's building people up simply by stating things in a respectful, loving manner and wanting them to be their best, as opposed to those individuals who that's not what they're doing. So yes, eventually they become very abusive. You're around them long enough, they start cursing at you, cussing at you, threatening you, telling you you don't have no business coming over here checking me. I'm a grown, you know what, woman, man. And if I want to talk about somebody, I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to say whatever, because that's how I roll. And then when you say, well, I don't get down like that, I think it's harsh, I think it's wrong, they say, well, you know what, you then. Okay, I'm censoring myself. Listen, we don't need these type of people in our lives, but we got some people who they are so desperate for friendship. They can't stand to be alone, that they will just keep putting up with all of the put downs. They will keep putting up with the condescending behavior, belittling. I'm better than you. And they'll say it in such a way that's supposed to make you laugh. It's supposed to be funny. And come on now, it's not that serious. So then the next thing you know, you're a little self-conscious around this person. You're looking at your nose twice. You're looking at your eyes twice, because they, the other day, commented about how big your nose is, how big your head is. They commented about how big your eyes is. You're looking in the mirror, you don't like what you see. Or in the back of your mind, you got all of this stuff going on. And you're trying your hardest to look decent around this person. But he or she is going to find fault. They're going to have something to say. Then you get around some other people who are decent people, who are not about putting you down. And they say, what are they talking about? Your head isn't that big. Your eyes aren't all that big. Your nose is, what are they talking about? You need to be careful about who you're around. Or maybe you do have this thing and that thing that tends to be bigger or smaller or whatever. But so what? God created you in his image. God loves you so much that he doesn't want you to be around people that's like that. You see, he's trying to protect you when he calls some folks out on their foolishness. Now, we talk about those other people, but are there times where we're a bit condescending, belittling, having our share of rips, dozens? Talking about you got some big you know what and some this, that, and the other. I can't get into all of the harsh things that some folks have said over the years. Have we been guilty as charged at times? Absolutely. Because sometimes you're not saying it out loud, but you're thinking it. You're thinking about, ooh, that woman, she's so big. Why she got all them plates in front of her? Ooh, look at him. He got a lot of nerve talking about how cute and nice looking and whatever else that one is. He sure isn't. You see? That sort of thing goes on. And when it goes on, the Lord is like, you see, I can't work with you when you're thinking like this. I can't work with you when you're talking like that. I don't need you to be over here aiding in the gossip discussion about what somebody looks like. I need you to get it together. You're supposed to be a teacher, a preacher, a leader. You're supposed to be a parent, a spouse, one who is loving and kind and compassionate. We got enough haters in the world. We got enough jealous people in the world. We got enough people who got low self-esteem and who feel like taunting others is the way that they build themselves up. There was an individual that I listened to when I was very young. I listened to this individual talk very harshly about the people who he was seated in a room with. If you talk to that person now and bring up some of the things that he said back in the day, he will sugarcoat. He'll even go so far as deny. He'll act like he don't remember. But I remembered. I remembered this foolishness that would go down. I remember how he would insult people so bad that people would get in their cars and drive away. And they would vow that if he was around, that they didn't want to be in his presence. I remember. And there's still some ugly about this individual. And that if you catch him on a good day, he gonna cut some folks down real quick while he put that Bible on the shelf. Okay? These people who cut you down, they've been hurt. They've had their share of issues, but it does not give them the right to be that way. Many of us have been hurt. We've been used. We've been abused. But that does not give us the right to go out there and start talking about how all men are this, that, and the other, how all women are this, that, and the other, how black people, white people, red people, yellow people are this, that, and the other. And that's why I don't deal with and look at how they look. And I'm telling you, if so-and-so get involved, their kids is going to look like A, B, and C, and blah, blah, blah. And matter of fact, so-and-so, I remember when he did get involved, and you should see the way that child looked. You see? You see? Some folks need an example. I got to make it plain. Sorry if I'm stepping on some people's toes, but it is what it is. We got some people who this is what they do on a regular basis, some of them. And then when they get an audience and they got some laughter and you happen to be the butt of the joke or the put down, you walk away and you think that you are strong through that situation. And the next thing you know, you lashing out on some people. Because you got some issues being around people like this. That's why you don't be around them. That's why you don't get yourself mixed up with people like this. This is why you tell them, just as they put you down, you tell them, look, I know you don't want me to go there. Oh, I want you to go there. No, you don't want me to go there. Let me tell you something. I don't appreciate what you've been saying, what you've been doing. And because you've been saying and doing, you don't have me to worry about. Oh, but come on now, sister, brother, cousin, whoever you are to them. I mean, I want you to be around. I mean, come on now. You don't have to take all this seriously. I like to joke, but not at my expense, you don't. Not at my children's expense. Come on now. It's time to grow up. And some folks will respect you because you confronted them, and they will look past you and won't joke so much. They'll take that foolishness and put it on somebody else. But others, they don't care. So what? I'm going to say what I want to say, okay? You better establish some consequences, some boundaries. Some folks, they just don't like us. They will never like us. And that's okay. That's okay. Right? They hated Jesus. They'll hate us too. But we don't have to put up with people, places, and things. Some people are preaching a false gospel. They're saying, well, if you come around and if you show some love, eventually that person, no, they won't. Some folks, they are going to be that way. They're going to be that way until they are in their grave. I remember an uncle, God rest his soul. He enjoyed talking about people. He enjoyed calling people out of their name. He enjoyed chasing people, saying all sorts of crazy stuff. Okay? He was the barrel of laughter, right? But one thing about it, it was no laughing matter as he got older and he got sickly. And there were those people who expected him to be the jokester, even when he was suffering much. There is a heaven and there's a hell. And some folks, as I've said in other audio, are on that slippery slope towards hell. They raised hell on this side, and there's a hell waiting for them on the other side. Something to think about. May the Lord continue to speak truth into your spirit, and may you continue to work toward change. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube Interim Enterprise 7. If anyone feels so moved to give, you're welcome to do just that. And blessings to you.